Good evening, ghoulies and ghosties and long-leggedy beasties. This is Alex, coming at you from the underworld, and welcome back to another episode of... Well, Halloween has come and gone, and I am 2 book reviews behind. I was able to read everything that was on my Halloween list, so at least there's that. But unfortunately, things kind of got crazy because the weekend before Halloween, my husband and I went to New Orleans to visit family, and we had a great time. But when we returned Sunday night, we noticed a little tickling in our throat and just some coughing going on. And the next day, we went and got tested and discovered we were positive for COVID. So I spent my Halloween with COVID. And yeah, we made the best of it. We watched horror movies. We just kind of vegged out and everything. There wasn't honestly anything more we could do. It was somewhat disappointing because we couldn't have our friends over for our annual Halloween gathering. And so that was a bummer. But of course, we really didn't have the trick-or-treaters that we normally do because it was rainy that night. And even though it sucked for the trick-or-treaters, and obviously we couldn't greet the trick-or-treaters anyway, it was kind of actually nice just to have a gloomy, rainy Halloween evening at home while just watching nothing but the horror movie classics. But that is what all's been new with me. Of course, there's other things going on, but I won't bore you with that. I would like to say that on Halloween night, I did move 300 copies of my book, 13 Octobers. So that was really cool. My book has only been out for like 2 months now, and I was like, well, if I can just get to about like 100 or 150 by Halloween, that would be great. And luckily, I actually got to 300, so that was really, really cool. So thank you everyone who downloaded a copy and everyone who purchased a paperback. So yeah, I really appreciate that. And even though this was due to a little giveaway that I was doing during that time, I am still really surprised to see that many books moved. But without me rambling on, I do have this month's Nightworms, which we are already in the month of November. I cannot believe that we are at the end of this year. I have no idea where it's gone, but it's almost over, thank God. But this month's package, I believe, is called Horror Royalty. And of course, I don't know what to expect there. I did not look at any of the spoilers or anything going into this package because I like to be as blind as possible. So I am going to go on a limb and say maybe this is horror that is maybe sword and sorcery or something that's kind of in that neck of the woods. I don't know. I don't necessarily see this being Victorian horror, even though we have had packages in the past where Nightworms has included like Victorian ghost stories for Christmas, or like, even though this isn't Victorian, there was a package that was honoring Shirley Jackson. So it could be something that is much older. I don't know, but we're about to find out. So without further ado, let's dive into this baby. All right, so as you can see, I've opened this up, but I've not looked inside yet. And this time we have a hardback and a paperback. And of course, I'm going for the hardback first because that is how I roll. And first up, we have... Oh, hell yeah! Hell yes! Oh my god. Oh! Eee! Okay. This totally just made my November. The rest of this month could be complete shit, but this is awesome. Alright, so I got the new book by Nick Cutter called The Queen. This has been on my wish list, and I just have held off on it, mostly because the TBR that I have right now is really huge. And I'm like, well, maybe for Christmas, maybe my birthday, I don't know. But I'm so glad I held off and got this with Nightworms. I love Nick Cutter's work. Of course, the only thing I've read by him at the moment is The Troop, and that book scared the ever-loving living hell out of me. Like, I read it maybe 2, 3 years ago at this point, and that thing still haunts the hell out of me. Like, there are moments in that book that you can just not scrub from your memory. And so I really need to read more of him. I do have The Deep, I have Little Haven, and also I have the book that he co-authored. I can't recall the name of it, but I think that's like The Handyman Method. But I don't know what this is about, and I'm just going to give a little run through. I don't want to give any spoilers away. Let's see. It's impossible to know another person, isn't it? To step past that locked door of their secretive inner self. But honestly, do you even want to know? All right. One sunny morning in June, Margaret Carpenter wakes up to find a new iPhone on her doorstep. She switches it on and is greeted by a text from her best friend, Charity. The problem is, Charity has been missing for over a month. Most people in town, even the police, think she's dead. Margaret and Charity have been lifelong friends. They have everything that they've shared. They know the most intimate details about one another, except for the destructive secret hidden from them both. A secret that will trigger a chain of events ending in tragedy, bloodshed, and death. And now Charity wants Margaret to know her story, the real story. All right. That sounds pretty badass. Almost in a way, it reminds me of that movie, Megan is Missing. Ooh, if you have not seen that movie and you want to give it a shot, go for it. It is not a feel-good movie. If you have trigger warnings, especially when it comes down to SA, then you do not need to watch that movie, but it scared the crap out of me. And I feel like this is going to be a very intense and frightening book. So this is a really, really, really great surprise. Very happy for that. All right, and next up is... Don't know what this might be. Oh, cool, cool. Okay, so I remember when this was first released in hardback, and then it just seemed like it was difficult to get your hands on. I don't have a copy of it. I do like the new cover a lot more than the old one. But this is After the People Lights Have Gone Off. And this is by Stephen Graham Jones. I have read his book Mongrels, which that just really wasn't my cup of tea. That's why I just didn't review it. I know it has a big fan base, and I don't want to bash any of the fans of that book because obviously it spoke to a great deal of people, and I'm happy that it spoke to them. It's just, it didn't do for me what it did for them. Now, I will say this, though. I have read some of his short stories, and I very much enjoy his short stories, which that's what this is. It's a short story collection. And I do feel like there are going to be some good ones in here. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of curious to see if some of the stories that he had previously published in collections are in this. Let's see, I'm looking through. Now, these appear to be stories that I have not read yet, but I am very happy to receive this because I do like his short fiction. So I'm just going to give a little rundown of the synopsis. This is not your cookie cutter horror collection. Stephen Graham Jones has taken nightmarish visions from his fevered imagination and crafted them into pieces of literary genius. If the absolute fear doesn't sweep you away, his lyrical and haunting prose will. As Joe R. Lansdale states in the introduction, you need this book. if you like anything close to horror and also like your stories to have elements other than just standing in the darkness with a bloody knife, you have the right book. Enjoy. So I do believe that. I do. Because I read one of his stories in um, Haunted Nights, which was a collection of stories that was composed by Lisa Morgan and Ellen Datlow. And his story, Dirtmouth, was really, really good. I really enjoyed that story. And I also read, I think it was Resurrection Road. I think he had wrote that title for When Things Get Dark, which was another Ellen Datlow anthology that was honoring Shirley Jackson. So I thoroughly enjoyed that story as well, and I really am looking forward to this. Okay, so I just discovered something else about this book, which I'm very, very excited that this was in the package. So this is a limited edition of the book, says right there, and it is specially bound by the publisher, and of course you see this is signed by Stephen Graham Jones. So yeah, I do thoroughly enjoy this. I'm probably going to try to find maybe an Audible or like maybe find it in a library or something, because with this being as rare as what it sounds like it's going to be, I really want to keep this in as good of condition as possible. So that means I'm not going to be reading this book, but I'm definitely going to find another option so this can stay in good condition. So moving on to the goodie bag. So I think I finally just realized why this package is called what it is. Like, with this being, I want to make sure I have it correct. Yeah, it is horror royalty. So I think that maybe this is in regards to the authors who are included in this package, because these authors are considered royalty, I guess. I mean, I would think that they are high up there. They've definitely deserved the elevated royalty status. So, yeah, I could totally see that. But this is the bookmark. Absolutely love it. Love those little bookmarks. And let's see. Here's a listing of all of the contributors for this package. Okay. All right, cool. Cool. All right, so this is a little lineup card that shows all of the previously out of print ebooks by Stephen Graham Jones that are now available. And so I'm going to hold this up here so you can see those titles. Hopefully it's not too blurry. Maybe you can just scan that QR code, like take a picture of it and do that maybe. But this includes Sterling City, The Long Trail of Nolan Dugotti, Zombie Bake Off, It Came from Del Rio, and 3 Miles Past. So yeah, those are available again. Good thing, good thing. And we have Creamy Hot Cocoa. I am definitely going to enjoy that as soon as my taste returns, because I really don't have that much of a taste right now. We have the signed book plate for Nick Cutter's book. And oh, cool. Look, it's a little tarot sticker. That is so cool. This is like the queen of books. That is so cute. I love that. Love that. Oh my god. And this is adorable as well. Love, love, love. So, yeah, that is the November package. I am very stoked to have it. I just wish that I had more time to be able to sit home and read. It's like there's so little time and so many books, and if I ever just become famous so I can quit my day job, I can guarantee you I will definitely spend more time reading than anything else. So, yeah, that's the package. It's a great package, and I really look forward to next month's. Um, of course, as I had mentioned earlier in the video, I do have some more book reviews coming for the Halloween themed books that I read. I'm hoping to have one review up this weekend and the next review up no later than sometime next week. So definitely be looking for those. And I'm about to start the horror lineup of Christmas books that I selected. So, yeah, I definitely am hoping to find at least two more books that scare the hell out of me. So far, I've only read one book this year that really did the job, and that was The Witching Hour by Anne Rice. And I'm looking for two more books that will just absolutely give me nightmares. And I'm hoping that the books I've included for my Christmas lineup will do that for me. So here's to hoping. And before I close out, I would just like to thank these amazing people for contributing to my Patreon account. As you can tell, some of the names listed here are creators, so be sure to check out their work. And if you would like to contribute to my Patreon account, I have a link available in the description section of this episode, where for $5 a month, I'll give you a shout out at the end of my videos. And if there is a certain profession you would like for me to tie to your name, just let me know and I'll do that. Also, I do have a $10 tier available, where for $10 a month, I'll still give you the shout out as you see here, but I do creepy photography on the side, so at the beginning of every month, I send out one of my creepy photos. From there, you can print it off and do whatever you like with it. So if you're able to do this, that's awesome. If not, no sweat. I just hope you return to this channel so we can continue to have a good time together. Also, if you would like to hunt me down on social media, links to my Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads are all available in the description section of this episode. And if you've not subscribed to this channel, be sure to subscribe and click that notifications bell so you'll be notified when I do more videos. And until we see each other again, I hope you have a great week and sweet nightmares.